Hi everyone, welcome to UCCA Center for Contemporary Art. I'm Philip Tenari, the director here, and it's my great honor and pleasure to be here with Cao Fei on the occasion of her exhibition Staging the Era, which we're so sorry we can't welcome you to visit in person because of the continued travel restrictions, but we thought today we have a chance to take everyone on a small tour and show you this incredible exhibition that we've been so lucky to present. So we're standing here in the lobby by this octopus that's kind of become a symbol of the exhibition. Do you want to tell us just one or two things about the octopus?
I think it's very playful. I don't want to make 20 years retrospective exhibition like a very serious way. So it's making another way. It's more playful, more funny. So that's why I attract a lot of the young generation to come to see the show.
For sure. Yeah, and we've had all kinds of rock stars and entrepreneurs and all sorts of people taking pictures in front of the octopus. But the truth is, this is a 20-year retrospective, and it is actually a very comprehensive and serious show. In a second, we'll take you inside. But first, let's take a stop here at this special feature we decided to incorporate, which we're calling the artist room. And in this special structure, you'll actually get to see sort of all of Cao Fei's influences from these different periods in her life. So, you want to tell us like some of the things we have here? I mean, we have this is from your life in the Guangzhou Art Academy as a child.
Yeah, because I'm from the art family, so both of my parents they are sculptors. So here is like influence all the Hong Kong pop culture, subculture in 1980 and 90. So I think this is a relation about my creation in the latest. That's why I'm showing this artist room about my background and cultural influence. And that's why a lot of audience asking me why you have this artist room so special, because not too much exhibition, retrospective exhibition of artists. We're showing this is like a totally naked, you mean?
Yeah.
You show everything to people, where you come from, why you're making art. So I think it's very important for people to understand me, how same as they are, have the same influence when they in 1980. So as an artist, not special at all, because we're in the same pool in China at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always so important with your work to remember that when you were young, you were in Guangzhou, which is such a different context from Beijing or Shanghai, especially because there was all this popular culture coming across from Hong Kong and all these new consumer goods and things. But also, it's been so much fun with this artist room because so many parents who bring their kids through, these are things that they knew when they were growing up, right? People our age, right? The music and the movies of that time. And you see them kind of taking their kids through and pointing out. And then you get farther along the artist room and we see like your own records, you know, the first exhibitions you participated in, the first films you made when you were going to Venice. There's even a little film we made together in 2014, all your old cameras. So it's just a beautiful place to come and immerse yourself. A lot of people, I think, visit this last. Maybe some come first, but it's a special place. Should we go inside now?
Yeah.
Okay. The exhibition itself really is a very significant work, and we work super closely with BEAU, which is an architecture firm based in Hong Kong, to come up with this design that really feels like a city. Do you want to talk a little bit about your idea for how to lay out such a huge show?
I want to make something like a project as an exhibition. So combine all the work in the past 20 years, showing here. So I'm doing something like Rmb City, but it's Rmb City in real life. Or I want to put the public space inside the interior space, and also no narrative direction for the audience. And it's like a park, something like Disney park, but it's like Disney park belongs to artists. I want audience to explore by themselves. It's like individual in this artist work.
Yeah, and I think it's really important, this central courtyard here, maybe we walk in so we can show some more of it, but these are basically all of your earliest works, right, from the 90s and early 2000s. They're set out on these monitors that have a real kind of retro feeling to them with these lawn chairs around them so people can sit down. And there's this stage.
In 1996,
right? When you were still in high school, one of your very first performances that you organized. But actually, throughout the course of the exhibition, we activate the stage with new performers, right? 4 or 5 times we've had these
like a live
bands.
And also to fit the concept of the exhibition title, like staging in the era. So also you can see the 1996 is first documentary about my performance on the stage. So stage connect the era until now, so it's all together, connected.
Yeah, there's always such a strong element of theater and theatricality, I think, in your work, but also of documentary. And I think that's why this piece is super important too. Yeah, because this in a way is your breakthrough piece to the international art world, right? You showed this in 2003 in the Venice Biennale. You were really focusing on a specific neighborhood in Guangzhou that had a colonial history and had an urban history and was a village in the city. So I love how, we kind of, here we are like waiting among your very earliest works, and then you see, on the one hand, this very lively piece from probably the first work of all from the mid-90s, and then you see this, which is really kind of like, in a way, your first mature work that made it into the international orbit. So, and then these sculptures, we should say too, these are actually works by your father, right?
No, this is a Western sculpture from everywhere. They make it for real estate. Selling to real estate. So because you can see this like public space is like one of the corner of China is like a Western culture, Chinese culture, local culture. They all mixed up. It's like an unreal city, but this is a reality.
Got it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun because we have this wraparound second floor mezzanine. And it creates these spaces where you're sort of under the highway in a way. I mean, it's almost a little bit like being in an American city. Here we have this hip-hop project that you did around the turn of the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, you can hear a lot of noise, right? Each word is like comfort each other. But also the audience says like in the market, because it's also like in the city, because have so many video work here and so many noise, but also I think the reflection is a reality, reflection the urban sound, because I don't want to make some very clear European style video exhibition, very quiet, low speed, low voice, but because so many voice fighting each other, I think really like a China reality. Like when you're in the market, when in the shopping mall, in the city, a village in the city, I think all this is reflect my growing in the Pearl River Delta.
Yeah, we keep going. The great thing about this exhibition is there's, even me, every time having been one of the curators, every time I come, it's almost like you will discover something new. And it jumps around chronologically. So here we have one of your earlier feature film length projects, Haze and Fog, from 2013, 2014, right next to the Burberry Dogs piece, which is from 2002 or so.
Maybe we'll just take a quick look.
Yeah. This was really kind of when you were first starting to live in this neighborhood and were interested in all these internal lives of the Chinese bourgeoisie, I think. All these crazy. Going on, but also the spaces are so much fun, right? You can really lie down here.
Yeah, a lot of audience they sleep here or they watching the film very relaxed. And also we make a sleeping event last week. So we put some bag here. So the audience, they sleep in the museum for a whole night. So I think it's quite an interesting experience. Watching the Chinese zombie movie and sleeping in the museum.
This has always been one of my favorite works of yours from Yeah, from the early 2000s. You had a brief time working in an advertising company, and you got a sense of what it was like to be a white-collar, urban, young Chinese trying to super interested in luxury brands like Burberry and things, right?
Yeah, very interesting thing is even this work is made in 2002. But I can hear some young generation mention this piece. They call it 社畜,社会的畜生.
Okay.
How to translate? Like society animal. Yeah, something is translated directly. So they will combine or remind them today how they running as like a roof of the society as an animal.
Right.
But it's totally 20 years different. But they will think, why are you so early to think about a society animal, this kind of concept? So because I think 2000 is like a changing point of China. So many companies, even like a 互联网 internet company, they're building up. So I have so many white collar in cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou. So I just graduated, so I'm making this like a performance and showing this like a fake Burberry and people dressing up but it's a very humor way to deal with this.
There's always so much humor and also so much observation of the different social moments. Should we keep going?
So it's really like a garden. I really like this way. I hear some audience, they mention when they in the exhibition they feeling they in the set of my film. So they are in or also they are out. So I think it's quite interesting experience to be in the exhibition. It's not in the normal exhibition white cube with like the setting of the like a video setting, like a bench. So they're very relaxed in the show. The young people dancing in the show, they sleeping, they watching, they take different photos for Instagram, for the social media, and they call their friend, they come. So it's something like for a party, they call the disco exhibition.
We basically have a wraparound, you can go 360 degrees around the space on this upstairs corridor, and other projects kind of branch off of this corridor as you walk around.
Because like a remarkable exhibition is William Kendrick. They're building the second floor in UCCA. So that remind me I have to building second floor for my exhibition here.
So yeah, we go in this one. This is La Town.
So use 1:87 models to showing the end of the world.
Right, all the world's future.
All the
right,
world future.
Edition, right? And your future was an apocalypse.
I spent like half year every day to hand make this model in studio and realize of this.
And these are actually German models, right? It's like
most of the German model, and some is bought from Taobao. Yeah.
Great. We're in like the busiest part of the show, and we're up here, so many projects together. And on our left we have the
Thomas train.
Infamous Thomas the train.
East Wind.
East Wind, right.
So some Thomas toys here. So many kids, they stay here. They play on these toys and watching the Thomas video. Also, this like tatami is like a Japanese room. You can sit down, you can watching the movie. And some project, like Hongshot project, you have like another age generation, large generation, probably they were interest. But for this, like 10 years old, even 5 years old, the kid, they were staying watching the video for a long, long time. And also we have a lot of window here. So the kid or the audience and also watching outside of the exhibition have connection of the space also.
One of the most serious in the exhibition is really talking about the current economy in China, right? online to offline, instant distribution, these massive, I mean, behind this Asia one is set in, it's really like the largest logistics distribution warehouse in China. It's in Zhejiang, right? And it's basically powered by robots. It's almost like a science fiction fantasia of this warehouse with no people left. But then on the other hand, you have this documentary about something that's very much about people and people working under really hard conditions to deliver all the packages that come from the warehouse around the time of the shopping holiday in November 11th every year.
Yeah, I think the JD.com is something like Amazon in the West, right?
Yeah, it's basically white goods, right? Electronics and more durable things.
Yeah. So yeah, the Asian one, the first time is showing Guggenheim.
Yeah.
But this time is first time to show in China, exhibit in China. I think it's very important to connect the Chinese audience because they are the daily life of us. We order everything online, even the tissue paper, everything, right? So the Asian one, I think, is showing this like 3 years later after I create this work, 2018. So the year is same as today. It's like a close future, 近未来 close future fiction film. But it's a love story to talk about machine, robot, love, worker, empty factory.
We keep going?
Yeah.
Now we're coming really to one of the most important projects in your career, which I think starts to seem even more prescient, as we move into this new moment of NFTs and all of that, right? This is Rmb City, which was a virtual
reality
city you built
in 2007.
So long ago. How is it presented here that's special?
I think this is a completely version of Rmb City. I never show it in China like this way. And with all this archive since 2007, like newspaper, when I participated in the Venice Biennial in 2007, Chinese Pavilion, and like the China Tracy, my avatar on the cover of magazine in 2009, Newsweek from American magazine, they're talking about the second life, how people met real person, the marriage in the real life changed their life. I think I can show the connection of the virtual reality in my creation in the very early stage.
We should note that UCCA actually had a location inside of Rmb City.
Yeah, because we have to get a lot of a budget to support this project. So we selling different virtual building in Rmb City and let the institution to collect, and also the institution can develop their exhibition in their virtual world. So that's why UCCA bought one of the building in 2008.
This is like the master plan, huh?
Yeah. So we bought the 4 scenes in the city, have like a Bernex, have like Shanghai, Hong Kong, Beijing, Chengdu, Shenzhen, all mixed in these 4 scenes.
What happened to Rmb City? Is it still?
Rmb City actually is finished in 2012, but we're running in almost 4 or 5 years, and every 3 months we have a mayor, like Willie Sick, like Alexander Monroe. They became a mayor at that time. So every mayor have like a direction to the city in each 3 months. Yeah. But it's very interesting today. A lot of people asking me about the NFT because they feel it so strongly relate the digital world today and digital exchange, digital economic, and how early to find out this virtual reality space. But at that time, for me, it's really a utopia digital city.
Absolutely. And you had your own personality, your avatar.
Yeah. You can see?
Yeah,
at that time.
We can go visit.
Yeah.
a great romance in Second Life with the American Marxist.
I remember you text me one day in 2008. You saw a mural in New York. So you say you're tearing in front of this video. A lot of audience will sitting here and watching outside at the park. So if you look at this, it also is like a reality. You have some sit to rest, have like a highlight in New York, right? This highlight?
It's like the highlight.
Yeah, highlight in New York have a plants, have a seats, have a landscape, have a city. So it's quite remind me about how to use a public space as exhibition space.
This is the film you made last year with the very popular Chinese singer Kun, and together with the Prada Foundation, right?
Yeah. So a lot of young audience, they come for this.
They love you so much.
Yeah.
So this is the project you worked on with your father, the major sculptor, called Nation Father, right?
National Father. Yeah. It's about about Taiwan, China, my father and me. How my father built up a national father for Taiwan. Also, is a young revolution pioneer in China.
And then this we have to mention. This is Who's Utopia, the project you did in 2006 in the Osram light bulb factory in Guangzhou, in your home province. I heard you said also, so you filmed the inner lives of these workers, and then one of those people was visiting the exhibition recently, too, right?
Remember the Peacock Dancer?
The Peacock Dancer, yeah.
She's now is quite successful. Opened her own company. It's like an education company. It's now it's already have like 600 学员.
Wow.
Yeah, 600 students in the whole company. But at that moment, she's like 18. Just graduated from the middle school and came to the Osram factory, become a normal worker. And after half year, we did like a workshop with her, and I let she dancing in the factory. And one day he feels something different, and he think has get some inspired from the art project.
You want to tell us where we are?
We're in the Hongshot Cinema. This is complete version of Hongshot Cinema. I think this version is hard to copy or transfer to any museum in the world because the scale is so big. We built up 2 floors and also like a Hongshot museum of this project. It's combined personal memory and group memory and New China digital industry history. And also Nova, like a fiction film, together as a personal artist version Hongshot Museum.
And this movie theater was kind of the center of the social life of the people working in the factory. And we can see what it actually looks like today. This is just a photo of the outside. So in 2015, you actually moved your studio into this building for 5 years, and you convert most of the area into your own working space on the ground floor and on the upper floor where the projection would be. And there were all these special side rooms, right? And even like the bathrooms looked like they were from that time, and you added inside like a modern bathroom. We had a very kitchen with kind of the fixtures from that time as well. But I guess in this whole process, you got super interested in this history of this factory and what its contribution had been and all the possibilities of the electronics industry at this time before China was, really electronic country. So there's this incredible combination of like this historical research and all these real artifacts you found, but then in the end you turn it all into this fictional story. It's almost like a sci-fi story, right?
Yeah,
a feature
Nova.
film, Nova, which is like based on some of the ideas behind this factory, but is a whole new thing as well. So we have the outside of the theater, but we also have the space of the film.
Because Hongshot Cinema will be gone one day in the future, and I think the whole project is monument of that era. It's not only about the Hongshot Cinema, but Hongshot Cinema as a symbolic to represent the past era, 就是集体主义时代、社会主义集体时代。
The collective era of socialism.
Yeah, so that I think this project for me is monument. But the film Nova, now we walk to, is how to walk from the past to the future, to open the next page, connect the past to the future.
这里是计算机的大脑。
So I built a real cinema here, like the chair from the Hongshot Cinema, but I put some sand here. It's like an extension from the film to the real life. So this is not just normal cinema, but it's something like a 废墟 cinema.
Cinema of ruins.
Ruins, yeah. Because for us, the past is like a ruin. Like our era, the past eras, we already forget it. But I think this monument of Hongshot is like a remind the new generation. So we spent 3 years to interview different people who relate Hongshot Cinema, like a period manager of Hongshot Cinema, and like a photographer who take a lot of photo focus on this district. So maybe this is the last photo, the group photo of Hongshot Cinema of the employee.
There's so many parts of this Hongshot project, including we made an AR kind of kitchen piece upstairs, and then there's this VR simulation down here as well.
Yeah.
You work with Acute Art, right?
Yeah, ActionMedia in London. So they help to build up the whole environment of Hongshot in digital world, so can let the audience to experience the Hongshot cinema in digital way. And we scanned the building in the past 2 years and insert in the virtual reality. So people in this small room can have this experience. So you can meet the character in the Nova film, father and son, and the computer laboratory, and the old Hongshot and the young son. So the son, we're asking a lot of questions in the VR. Yeah. So I saw the social platform. Some young people they will give some 攻略，怎么说攻略？
Yeah, like guidance of how
Yeah.
tips, like you see the show. Yeah.
They say you have to bring some chocolate, some food, because you have to spend like a whole day here.
That's great.
And which location is good for photo, so they have a lot of a long list. to the different people. So now we into the canteen, Chinese canteen, Cantonese canteen. So we can have dim sum food here. So what you want to eat? Like
That's good.
maybe cha shao bao.
Okay, sounds good.
How to say cha shao bao?
Char siu.
And dim sum, yeah, siu mai.
Yeah.
Okay, let me order something.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Oh wow. Oh my God! Look at
先不要
this
吃啊
breakfast.
我们就聊聊天就好。So order some dim sum.
Yes.
I think it's quite good. You can smell that and see the show. And when you feel hungry, I think it's like by the corner. You revisit the reality made by artists, and then you met the real reality in the corner.
Yeah, I always love that in your work. This constant transition between real life, art, imagination, history, memory, the future.
Oh.
Well, thank you for this lovely walkthrough, and thank you everyone for being here with us. And we look forward to having a conversation with you in the question and answer session now. Thank you. All right.
Oh.